Hello, Ayurveda enthusiasts, and welcome to my channel, Vanishri Ayurveda. Today, we are going to talk about how to break an unhealthy habit, which is very, very important, right? Um, Everyone knows that nobody is perfect. Everyone has some unhealthy habits that they need to break. You might have one or 10, but or you might have tried to break it up till now and you have not been anywhere, or you might have broken it and gotten back into the unhealthy habit. So let's see how we can break that cycle, or how, if you're really new to breaking an unhealthy habit, some tips on how to break it. But before we go ahead and do that, we are going to talk about why we feel the need to break an unhealthy habit. It could be because that habit is bothering you. That means it's unhealthy, right? Somewhere it's bugging you, nagging you, or letting you know that it's not good for you. Or after doing that thing, or after being in that habit for a while, you're feeling not so healthy, or not unmotivated, or you're just feeling lack of support even to like let go of that habit. Or another one could be you're just trapped in it, that you're finding no ray of hope, or no right path to break it, which could be certainly very, very difficult. Or you're completely discouraged by the habit, that you know that there's no way out, but you're still doing it, or you're still in that habit, and it's not helping you in any way, but you're not able to let go of it, right? uh, or you're blaming yourself or others for doing that habit, or for you being in that habit, right? And it could be that habits are interrupting your life in a way where you're not able to live life 100%. So we are going to see how we can get rid of this cyclical thinking, or this cyclical blaming ourselves, right? Not everyone does that, but some people do. So um, first, we need to understand the concept of Pradnyaparadha according to Ayurveda. Now, what is Pradnyaparadha? Pradnya means your wisdom, or your common sense, or your intuition. Okay, and aparad means to go against it. So Pradnyaparad means to go against your wisdom, or your common sense, or your intuition. Now let's take an example. Your stomach is very, very full. Okay, after a big dinner, your stomach is extremely full, and you don't want to eat even a single bite of food anymore, but you see an apple pie, right? Or an awesome cupcake, and you're like, oh my god, let me eat that. I know I'm super full, but I still need to go ahead and eat it. Now this is nothing but pradnyapara. Now your body is sending you signals, your digestive system is telling you that there's something that you should not go ahead and eat that cupcake or eat that apple pie, but you still go ahead and do it. Now what is this going to cause? This is going to cause a lot of pressure on your digestive system, creating more digestive toxins, or it might create fluctuations in your sugar levels. So it could result in a lot of harm to your system, right? Now there are so many other things that we do on a routine day-to-day basis that might be harming us, right? So say for instance, watching Netflix, or binging TV shows, right, before bed, when you know that you're so drowsy and tired after a long day or a long week, but you still go ahead and watch TV, right? So this could certainly harm, because your sleep cycle could get harmed in this process. Um, Obviously, unhealthy habits like smoking, drinking, everyone knows. If you're getting addicted to something, it's not a good habit, right? So we need to let go of such little unhealthy habits in our life. Now let's see, why do we go against our intellect? We know this is wrong for us, right? But we still go ahead and do it. Why does that happen? Now there are two gunas, or two qualities of mind, which is called rajas and tamas, uh, and there is a third quality that is called sattva, that is sattvic mind. If your mind is sattvic, that is peace, at bliss, stable, peaceful, you there are highly likely chances of you not doing the unhealthy habit or not going against your wisdom or intellect. Okay. But if you have a high amount of rajas, that is a high amount of activity or the active component in your mind, then it could result in a lot of chaos, and your mind would be overstimulated, or in an overdrive state all the time. Then going against your wisdom could be very easy for a rajasic mind, right? So when your rajas is very, very high, or your mind could be completely tamasic. Most of the times, a tamasic mind goes towards like emotional eating, or using a lot of sugar to uh, curb their emotions, things like that. Or a tamasic mind could be doing lack of exercise, things like that. Tamas means heaviness or lethargy or a dull mind, okay, where there is unmotivation to do anything. So even if your mind is rajasic or tamasic, it's not going to help. So we are going to see how not to make your mind rajasic and tamasic. For instance, if you drink a lot of coffee throughout the day, your mind certainly could be rajasic because coffee is excessively stimulating. Um, Things like uh, heavier foods, deep fried, oily food, a lot of excessively processed food, or a lot of carbohydrates could certainly make your mind tamasic, and that your diet affects your mind a lot, is what Ayurveda says. Also, let's look at some of the habits, like some of the unhealthy habits we might have. So the first would be, are you going to bed on time, right? Or are you listening to the signals that your body is sending you? What time are we eating? Are we eating on routine times, or are we just scattered or eating at erratic times during the day? How much are we exercising? Are we even exercising or not, right? How are we cleansing ourselves? How are our bowel movements? Are we paying attention to that? How are we managing our energy levels? Are we using any stimulants to manage our energy levels, right? So there could be some of these physical habits that we need to look for. There could be some emotional habits, like, say, for instance, how do you react to stress? Or are you fearful of new situations? Are you too enthusiastic, right? Or do you get angry easily? Do you get comforted easily? Or are you overwhelmed easily, right? So, or do you see everything in a negative way or everything in overly positive way, right? So these are some of the emotional habits that could be taken care of. Ayurveda also gives a lot of importance to sleep. So your diet, sleep, and celibacy is basically what Ayurveda says are the tripod or the foundation of your health. They're called Trayopastambha. So I wouldn't say foundation, but pillars of your health is what they're called. So having a proper diet and having a good sleep, restful sleep, is very, very important according to Ayurveda. And it says you are what you eat. So indeed, whatever you eat is how you're going to be formed, or your mind and body is going to be that way. Okay. Like some of the eating and food habits, like, are you doing wrong food combinations, or are you eating a large meal in the evening? Ayurveda recommends to eat like a smaller meal in the evening, and the largest meal should be the lunch. And are you eating desserts every day after a meal, things like that? So these are some food and eating habits that we can certainly strive to be better at or change to make them more healthy. Um, so let's look at how we can break these unhealthy habits or break the cycle in the next video. So please keep watching and stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.